Charles Tonks and Ben O'Neill, who are Ithaca College graduates, decided to start making maple syrup, and they got involved through Professor John Conifer, who is in CNS, and he decided to, because we didn't have all the equipment, they decided to go to a local commercial producer. So their first year they collected sap on our property, the same site that we use now, but they were boiling it at this commercial producer's house, his sugaring shack. Yeah. And in order to produce there, they had to give up half of their syrup. So the following year they were not down for that, and they wanted to be able to make their own. So they got involved with Jason with Hamilton, and he set up, they did it as an independent study, and they were making maple syrup. They asked me to come along with it in order to do the marketing and sales, but I ended up doing some producing because they wanted me to take it over next year, so I had to learn how to do it. This is their senior year of school. They tried to set up a sugar shack, went through lots of town meetings, went to met with other on-campus people that they needed to get the okay from, and what they realized that it was going to cost them over $10,000 to make a sugar shack, and in order to do that, we needed to sell a lot of maple syrup. So we kind of started from there. Last year was the official first year of South Hill Maple Syrup, when we actually were producing and boiling on our own land and not having to sell or give any of our syrup away. We then used the money, or the revenue earned from that, we used that revenue to buy nicer equipment this year that made our system, our process, more efficient.
The site of the syrup production is located on Ithaca College property. If you are on campus, you would follow the power lines that go back towards the south, or that go south, and you can access it by going down Coddington Road, and I believe it's 3 roads after the entrance of the school. It's called Rich Road. You drive all the way up, and the physical plant made us a trail, which we didn't have the first year, and that allows us to get all our production materials out there and get the sap back much easier. I think what we really need is more people working on the team and more time committed. Like I said, I was out there a couple of times, mostly by myself, and we just need more people to be able to commit more hours, and whether that be finding people who are free more often, or finding more people, it's something that needs to be looked at, because this year one of the problems was a lot of people left over the weekend when we decided to boil, and wouldn't be able to participate in that. That kind of leaves us with only so many people, and these tasks still have to be done throughout this period from February to April, because we only have such a small window to do it in. I'm glad it was offered as an environmental research class. I'm glad I got to participate in it, and I hope that it seemed that it was starting to gain popularity, and hopefully kids sign up and keep it going. I'd like to see it continue throughout the years and keep on growing and keep on improving. Maybe tapping more trees and having maybe like a tube system, which can allow you to collect more sap. But we'd have to have a much more sophisticated production facility than we do now to do that. But yeah, I'd like to see it grow for sure. I feel like it wasn't as advertised as well prior to us doing the project, but that was also part of our job as a business, trying to market our product, and I think that has improved throughout the semester. I know we had people working the marketing for it, and we did try to spread the word more. We had an open house, which was very successful. Some people came to that. We put up flyers around the school, and yeah, I'd say we're getting more attention now, and hopefully that'll continue now that it's already started. But yeah, it was lacking in previous years. It was only really known by people who we knew, word of mouth kind of thing.
If we had more people, we could have produced more. If the weather conditions permitted, we could have produced more. I mean, we set out with the goal to produce more than we had produced the year before, which, wasn't accomplished, but it was close to what we produced the year before. And, we have to be happy with what we did. The fact is, we do have finished product. We are able to sell it. I mean, we sold out. How can you not be more happy than that? After participating for 2 years, I've, spent a lot of time thinking about how much potential this company really has. The fact that it interrelates so many different students with different backgrounds and concentrations and majors. It could be so many different things, all the different, I'm trying to think of how I want to say it. All the different backgrounds and experience and skills that people have gotten either through life or through their, time in college from their majors, all of that could be brought together and make this business even better than just a maple syrup producer could do. I mean, for me, I had marketing and management background, and the more people we can get with the different experiences, I think the better off the company would be. I mean, generally it'd be better if we had more people who are into being outdoors and have started fires and, into science experiments, because sometimes we had to figure out what was causing something, problem-solving skills. But the fact of the matter is, we had to write blogs. It's a business. You have to write blogs. You have to, we wrote a story that went inside our label to let people know more about us. We held an open house. You need to have event coordinating skills in order to do something like that. We needed to do lots of recruiting. We could have definitely used people skills for that. And the more people we have, and I mean, even if they were all the same person, if we had a bunch of people, we could produce a lot of syrup. If we could produce a lot of syrup, we could sell it in the community. I mean, personally, when I got into this, I wrote a marketing plan to be able to sell in various stores outside of, the people we know, or even outside of Ithaca College campus. But the fact is, you need to produce X amount of bottles, gallons of bottles that you could give to a distributor. They're not going to buy a product if you only could give it to them once. And, we'd have more community involvement. More people in the community would know about South Hill Maple Syrup if we were able to sell it in the grocery stores or Green Star, and even at the farmer's market, we would get a lot more awareness.